these guys?
Yeah. I'm going to share my screen so he can share his presentation with all of you who are there on Zoom. Here, Kevin, I'll pass him off for you, man. Oh, everybody's down. I have them right here for you. Just go tap to tap.
Cool. Hello, fellow Zoom friends and guys here. Kev, I've been doing this 7 years. I work with all types of investors, mom and pops who own a 3-flat for 300K up to guys who own $1 billion portfolio. I've done all their caustic work. My background, honestly, was a union carpenter. I have 0 college experience at all. But in caustic, there's a lot of measurements. You have to detail how parts and pieces of components of a building are attached to a building, and that's why I'm hired here. And I'm very good at what I do, guys. So it doesn't matter how small or big you are. Work with all types. And before I get into what I do, cost segregation is simply accelerated depreciation. So before I get into that, we should talk about straight line depreciation. This is something that happens to you automatically if you buy a building. This example, John asked me to run an example around 500K. So I did. I put an example 530K, but land does not depreciate. We take out for land. This example, really 535,000, 100,000 comes out. So in this example on straight line depreciation, any of us bought a building, $435,000 is residential. Every single building in America is on a depreciation schedule by law. The IRS states commercial properties depreciate over 39 years. Residential properties depreciate over. We're going residential. Even if you own an 80-unit apartment building, it would still go on a 27.5-year depreciation schedule. So the terms for what we do are different from real estate brokerage. Don would consider that mega commercial. Tax terms and stuff. So let's say I bought.
Real quick.
Sure.
Play with the fundamental idea. Right?
Yeah, so depreciation's a write-off. So I buy a building today, right? Let's say I buy the example 435K building. Every single day, the brick is wearing away. So minuscule. The HVAC system is deteriorating. Again, not overnight, this much. The roof, the electrical systems, the plumbing. So what the government does is incentivize people to own property. And if you own it, they know there's going to be issues, so they offer depreciation to offset it. Right. Yeah. And so in this example, we're going to own $435,000 multifamily property. Could be 2 units, could be 6, depending where you're buying. Bottom line, second you buy, government's going to go, hey, this guy, our girl, needs a depreciation schedule. What do? Take the purchase price minus land value, divided by 39 or 27.5. Talking about apartments, going to divide by 27. Once you do that, your depreciation schedule is made. 435,000 divided by 27.5 years at a misprint, $15,817. That's a write-off, guaranteed write-off each and every year. Write-off's only as good as your taxes. Not everyone's in the highest tax rate, but I put that here on purpose. We're assuming you're in the highest tax rate. Some guys are in 30, some guys are in 25, some are in 20. Just for simplicity of math, you took 435 times 27.5, 518,000 for 15,000. Take the 15,000 times the highest tax rate. Every year for 27.5 years, you'd get an income tax reduction simply for owning a property. 5,800. No matter what. That will happen automatically. So John sells me this building every year, no matter what. It's not about cash flow or anything. It's about tax. At the end of the year, let's say, the IRS 20 G's. I get to minus 5,852. The issue with straight line depreciation that not everything, every part, piece, component, building system in your property will last 27. It's perfect. No, it's a good time. Slides. Yeah. So we're gonna go to the second game. Perfect. All right. So not every part, piece, component, building systems can last. What does cost segregation do? Simply a way to separate all the parts, pieces, and components that won't last 27 and a half. Put them on their correct depreciation. So the government allows us to put things in buckets, 5, 7, and 50. So I could walk to any property, let's say this case, multifamily property, and say, hey, tile floor does not last 27 and a half years. It lasts 7 years. I put that in the 7. The wood trim, whether it's crown molding or baseboard, will not last 27 and a half. Put in a 5-year. They have a small parking lot, that will not last 27 and a half years and put in a 50. Anything we put in the 5, 7, or 15-year bucket, you're allowed to depreciate 100% today, as long as it was purchased after September 27, 27. For guys of you who own buildings before then, talk to me after. Cost seg's still applicable. But right now, with the Tax Cuts Jobs Act, 2017 and after, you get 100% bonus depreciation on anything we put in the 5, 7, 15-year bucket. So we'll start on number 1, right here. If you're going to do straight line depreciation on this property, which is $435,000 purchase price, that's with land taking out. Your depreciation every year is going to be $15,876 across the board. $15,817 for 27 and a half. If you look at number 2, the alternative method, what my firm did was that based on all the studies we've done 27,000. We're assuming in any apartment building, 18% of any apartment building will fit in a 5-year category. Nothing in a 7-year, just for your own knowledge. 7-year properties usually FFE, furniture, fixture, equipment. Big in hotels, not so much in apartments. 15-year properties, land improvements, or we call them hardscaping. So you put some lights outside, do some landscaping, pavers, stuff like that. That's what. So what number 3 does, said if we did costing on this building, instead of getting $15,000 write-off year after year, I will get this person a write-off of $84,000, $495, so almost 6 years of depreciation rolled into one, times their tax rate. That number at the bottom in bold is $31,263. That will go dollar for dollar against what they owe in income tax. So if you owed $31K in income tax, now you owe 0 federal government. That's what cost it is. I actually did do the study. We charged this guy $2,750, $2,750 to net $31,000 income tax. Let's say the guy owed year one, yes. So common misconception. If I like the idea of accelerated depreciation. If you depreciate my whole building, I'm screwed after that. It's not true. We're going to depreciate 20% of this building, 100% today. Still get a write-off. It's going to be 80% of what it would have been the next 26. One other thing. Let's say the guy didn't owe 31K in income tax. Let's say he owed 10. Well, now you don't pay the 10, 21,000 carries forward to the next year. And that's a basic example of what it is. Tons of nuances. It's not for everybody who owns a property. John, you mentioned real estate professional. Might want to open up questions on that. Just to start.
Yeah.
I see the chat.
Yep. Stop the screen share so we can. Looks like audio is a little rough tonight. No questions in chat.
All right. Well, if you guys have questions now, it's a good time.
So after year one, it's 80% of the 15,000.
So you're gonna get this whole benefit.
Yeah.
Made up whatever 18% of 18 and 20, 18 and 2, so 20% of this. It would correlate almost like this is 80% of this. You know what I mean?
No.
5-year property would be. Yeah. So this is the full 20% benefit, 20% of the building.
Yes.
84K.
Okay.
But what makes up that 84K? Just look at that 84K. The majority of it is this 5 year.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you can use that all the time.
No, so it's one and done. We're gonna depreciate all those parts and pieces today.
Okay.
And basically take 5 years of your straight line depreciation, roll it in a ball, and give it to you.
Okay. I think I'm following.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm here
Yeah.
too.
What happens if you sell after like a year, after